What is up, everyone? I am Chris Knight, and you are watching The Real Review 3000 here with another episode of Movie Talk with Chris and Stig. So, as usual, I have David over here. David, how you doing? I'm sorry. I mean, Stig, how you doing?
I'm doing quite well.
That's great.
Brady.
We are definitely going to be talking about a movie that I know I love, and I'm pretty sure you're the same way. And I don't know how many times I've watched this movie, but I watch certain movies to go to sleep to if I can get to sleep because I know them inside and out. This is one of those movies. I can fall asleep for half of it, wake up and know exactly where it's at without really even looking at it. That's how much I know this movie. I don't know. You're probably about the same on that, aren't you, Stig?
Oh, yes. Completely so. I keep watching it once or twice per year, and I've been doing that since the 90s.
This movie, Terminator, or The Terminator, let's just call it what it is. It was The Terminator originally. And if I remember right, James Cameron didn't necessarily intend for a sequel, but he definitely left it open purposely for a sequel. But it was released in October of 1984, so it was kind of a Halloween movie. And rightfully so. It is a sci-fi action thriller, I would say, but it really introduced us to some new ideas for sci-fi. I mean, we had kind of gone down this road before, but not quite the same way. It was really innovative with what the movie was about, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I guess it started the killer cyborg trope as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've gotten a ton of those over the years.
Yeah, mostly bad ones.
That's true. And then there was kind of the, RoboCop, which we've talked about, but RoboCop was kind of a twist on this.
Yeah.
It was future, but it wasn't something from the future. It was something built for then. And he was a good guy. So it's not exact, but it definitely, I would say, part of this movie sparked the idea for RoboCop. So released in 1984, takes place in 1984, and also takes place very briefly in the far future, I believe, of 2029. Yeah, so 9 years from now, this is going to happen, guys. We're going to be stuck in this war. That's the only thing about these movies is that sometimes, when they pick dates, I guess back in 84, that seemed like an infinite amount of time away, but it really isn't.
No, it's, same with Blade Runner, really.
Yeah, well, and even Blade Runner 2049, it's like, man, they didn't really push that out that far.
No. But, they had to stick with their established universe, and that's
true. I applaud them. I mean, I think those two movies work really well hand in hand.
Yeah.
I mean,
and if they push it too far ahead, they can use Harrison Ford.
That is very true. That is very true. All right, so let's just kind of break this down. We might go through some. We'll go through some trivia, like we normally do, and then we'll give our ratings, like we normally do. So let's start off. Movie starts with the crawl, explaining what's going on. That in 2029, there's been a nuclear war. That's pitted the humans against machines because the machines took over. And I think they even mentioned Judgment Day in that.
I don't think they called it Judgment Day, though.
I'm going to look here really quick here. I can't remember. Let's see here. Crawling. No, not that.
Did you know O.J. Simpson was considered for the role of the Terminator?
I had heard that, and that's just that's interesting.
Yeah, they didn't give him the part because it was too nice.
Yes, they.
What the irony?
Yes, I know. Hold on, I'm gonna go through this real quick and look at it.
Another one that was very much considered for the part was Lance Henriksen.
Mm-hmm.
But They figured he was too skinny. Basically, he can easily do intimidating, but
I don't think anybody but hey, Sith Lord, what's going on? Great to see you in the chat. I appreciate it. Yeah, Bill Paxton was in this. In fact, I think the best part of Terminator Genesis was the recreation of the scene at the Griffin Observatory, except for the fact that I wish they would have gotten somebody that looked like Bill Paxton. What's going on, John? Great to see you. John says OJ must have been a method actor then.
Yeah.
So the original crawl, or the original thing at the beginning, says the machines rose from the ashes in the nuclear fire. Their war to exterminate mankind had raged for decades, but the final battle would be fought in the future, or it would not be fought in the future. It would be fought here in our present tonight. I loved how they put that, because when you watched this in '84, that rooted you like what you're watching while you're in this theater is happening right now. And
yeah,
there was
don't you miss those scrolls though?
Yeah, and hey, Captain Trek, what's going on? Great to see you in there. But I just remember that even to this day, it's like that grounds this movie so much. It really gave an air of reality to it, which we're showing you the future right now. But this doesn't happen yet. What you're gonna watch is happening now, here, as we speak, and I love it. It speaks volumes with very little words. So
yeah,
that's how we start.
Even the scenes in the future, there's hardly any dialogue at all.
Oh yeah,
those scenes. You just watch it unfold, kind of.
Yeah,
those flashbacks, recess, and all that.
Yeah, I mean, it's all just the fighting. You hear screams, you hear, those things. But yeah, I don't think there's any words, because Reese goes down into the bunker, or whatever you want to say. I'll say the bunker or the trench, and he's patting the kids on the the head because they're playing, and it even without saying anything, you can tell he just looks at them and he's like, they just don't get it. And he realizes that it's bliss that they're young and that they're not quite getting it. And, he plays with the one guy by just, pointing his gun at him, like, oh, and acts like he gets shot. And then you hear the dogs. And this is they really don't go heavily into the dogs in this movie, but they definitely point it out. They make it known that dogs and Terminators don't get along. Because the guy knocks on the door and comes in, and right then the dogs start barking, and Reese knows something's wrong. Hello? Yeah. So and actually that might be when, and that's actually in one of his dreams. That's right. Yeah, that's just a little bit later on. But okay, so they show all the stuff, they show the fighting and all that. And then what we do is we get the bright light, and it fades right into the garbage scene, I think. Isn't it the garbage truck scene first?
Garbage truck scene is Terminator 2.
No, they do it in this one too. That's at the very beginning, in the first one. I'm trying to remember.
Oh yeah, Arnold shows up near the my bad.
And then I'm trying to remember if he's first or if Reese is first.
Arnold is first.
Yeah, because they do it and I think that's the trick of the second one. When they show Arnold, you don't know yet.
Yeah, I think the canon story is the Terminator had already gone through, which is why he arrives first, and then Kyle goes after him.
Well, yeah, so you get a good 30 minutes or so of this movie where you're not really understanding who's doing what, because they both show up, they both go and in different ways get clothing and get weapons. We were just talking about how the Terminator does it. Arnold walks into the gun store, give me the, and going through all the different stuff, and give me the face, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, hey, man, just what you see.
Yeah.
And then Reese.
That's the storekeeper is the snowplow guy from Gremlins.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, he's in a lot of things, and you don't realize it until you see him. But so Reese goes into the department store and, gets a gun there, gets shoes, gets a trench coat, steals his pants, though, and the shirt from a homeless guy. I'm not sure what that says about him, but I guess he's just in survival mode at the moment. And he gets out. He starts walking down the sidewalk. That's what we see with him. Terminator, you see him go get the guns and stuff. He kills the shopkeeper. But they're both looking for Sarah Connor. And they show it. They show that they're both looking for her. And
yeah, they designed Reese in a way that made him appear like a frightened animal, like a cornered rat, because he sticks to the walls and stuff all the time and hunches down, and he's scurrying mostly. So he's in full survival mode almost all through the movie.
John says, "Wait, don't we know that Kyle is protecting her? It's the way that that's why he has the photograph. The photograph he mentions later." He talks about it to her. We don't know it until he says, I have a photograph, or he has it. But I don't think it ever. No, because he doesn't even mention the photograph yet, because when he finds her, he says, I had to wait till he moved on you to know who he was. But no, I guess he does know. He does know who she is, because that's why when he finds her, he follows her, and she thinks he's the one. But I think that they do a very good job of, again, in this movie, not knowing who is exactly after her or what.
Well, we do see Arnold kill another Sarah Connor, though, very early.
We do, but we don't know that Kyle's not going to do the same thing. We don't know if this, because one's going after all of them. They're both going after Sarah Connor. We just don't know what for necessarily.
Yeah, well, Arnold kills those thugs.
Mm-hmm.
And Reese just, he doesn't kill the cop.
No, he doesn't. But again, I'm not sure if that's an absolute. Yeah, that's what I corrected myself there, John. Yeah, he doesn't know what the Terminator looks like, because, well, even though every T-800 later on is established, it looks like him.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, okay, that's a change.
And in the Terminator Salvation, Kyle Reese sees him.
Yeah, it's like, okay, whatever.
I have a little Stig Kenobi trivia for you.
Go ahead.
Kyle Reese and the Terminator arrives in 1984 on May 12th, which is my birthday.
Oh.
So I have cool action movie tie-ins.
Is your birthday actually May 12th or was it 1984? Was that the year you were born?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was born before that, before the war.
Before the dark times.
Yeah. Before the Empire.
Dude, I love it when you do that. Okay, so they come in. Basically, the first little part is just establishing there's two people after Sarah Connor, and the part when it really comes down to it is they go to Tech Noir, or Sarah sees Kyle Reese following her. She goes into this Tech Noir place to use the phone. They make her pay, which is fun.
Yeah. This is after, though. She has left for the place because her date stood her up.
Well, that's true. So the date stands her up, and she tells her friend. I'm trying to remember what her name is. Well, she tells
Ginger.
Ginger. That's it. She tells her friend.
Her boyfriend is played by Rick Rossovich, who you'll see in Navy SEAL with Michael Biehn.
Yep.
A few years later.
Yep. I think it's funny though, because when Ginger's boyfriend calls, Matt, I think is his name.
Yeah.
And the way he talks to Sarah at first, and she lets him talk like that, first I'm gonna unbutton your And then she says, "Who is this?" That's a kind of a fun scene. But there, she leaves to go. She says she's going to catch a movie or something, and she leaves. And I seem to remember that Reese is in a car and follows her.
Yeah.
Because he kind of narrowed down who it is.
Yeah, she goes to a diner or something first, and then she sees.
Well, the diner's where she works.
No, yeah, but she goes to another diner, and the TV is on.
She goes to a bar because so when they're at the diner, one of her friends calls her back to the back room. The news is on, and says Sarah Connor's been shot, and her friend says, "You're dead, honey."
Yeah,
and so it's not really a consequence to her. She kind of shakes it off. And when it does happen again, when she's at the bar, she hears it and she tells them to turn it up, and she starts wondering. So I think then she calls the police department. No, not yet. No, that's not it. That's when she notices Reese, and she leaves the bar, and she notices he's following her.
It looks like a creeper.
Yeah. And so she tries to shake him by going into Tech Noir and uses the phone, calls the cops. The cops say, "Oh, we've been trying to get a hold of you, and we've left messages, da 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 da." And she says, "Well, this is where I'm at." And he's like, "Yeah, it's off of Pico." And actually, no. I've been by where this place was in the movie. It's just I can't remember what it is now. It's not much of anything now, but I've looked it up. I think this was an actual club they did it in. But
the cops though, Traxler and Lance Henriksen, good characters, both of them. They have great interaction. They're like kind of like I don't give a fuck cops, but they still do in a way.
They just one of them says it. He says, "You know why I can sleep at night? Because I don't give a fuck." I think they actually, one of them says that. But so they tell her we'll be right there, and that's when all shit breaks loose, and the Terminator comes up on her. She doesn't even think anything of it. She just looks up at him like, "Who are you?" Whatever. And he's kind of dressed like he belongs there, so I guess that works for him. And that's when Kyle Reese comes up from behind him as the Terminator's pulling out his gun to shoot her, and he shoots him with the 12 gauge, the shot off 12 gauge. And then it gets kind of crazy there for a good 15, 20 minutes because
he managed to gauge who the Terminator was.
Yeah. And so again, I like the pacing of this movie. Fairly, nonchalant right from the get-go. And then when we get to the club scene, it just kind of hammers down the gas and says, "Let's go. We're going." So they run out, and he's stunned, but he's not out completely. So he does he wakes up and gets up and goes through the window. And if I remember right, they run to the parking garage.
Yeah, he almost gets her again because he's shooting into the crowd. A lady falls over her.
Mm-hmm.
He walks over with a Uzi.
Yeah, that's right.
He loads it. Is just about to shoot her again, and then Kyle shoots him through the window.
Mm-hmm.
It's and this is the frightening thing about the Terminator, because if he spots you, he goes straight for you.
Mm-hmm.
Even through people, it doesn't stop.
Oh no, there's nothing because again, it's a program. It only knows one thing, and that's what it's programmed to do, which is kill her. So yeah, I mean, there's plenty of good scenes in I think almost all the movies. Where, hey United, how you doing? Good to see you in the chat. I appreciate it, guys. Real quick before we go much further, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Please smash that like button. Tweet us out if you haven't. I always appreciate it if you guys tweet us out. I tweeted out, but if you follow me on Twitter, you can take that tweet that I put out and tweet it out. I really would greatly appreciate that. And do me a favor, spread the word, tell people to come here and sub to us. We're trying to get to 3,000 subs. But what I was going to say is the one thing I really like that stays consistent in all these Terminator movies is that mental picture of, you know, somebody gets in his way and he takes his hand and he just pushes them out of the way. It's like no concept. Like he wasn't programmed to have politeness, and Arnold pulls that off in this movie so well.
Oh yeah,
very little words, direct, just go.
He's only on screen for, I think it was 9 or 16 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, but yeah. So he comes out. He's chasing them. They go to the car park, I believe, pretty soon after that, and the Terminator has acquired a cop car at this point. And when they're in the car, when Kyle and Sarah are in the car, he basically breaks down. She's like, what was that? He didn't even, you know, she's going through the fact that, you know,
in the cop car though, the dispatch voice is James Cameron.
Yeah, I seem to remember that. I'm trying to remember that. I think that's right after the club scene though, is where they're in the car. Yeah, right,
there's a cop outside, having showed up because it was shooting, and Arnold just epically slams him into the.
It's into the light pole, right? Or the door. That's right.
Yeah. He just grabs him, you know,
then throws him in the door, and he falls right back down. It's like,
yeah. It's just very quick and systematic, and just as soon as the guy has been slammed in, he doesn't even care about the cop anymore. Just
no. And I, like I said, the way he does it, he pulls it off so great. It's just like doesn't even. Knowing as much as Arnold is a guy that likes to work with people, and most of the people you hear talk about him is he's a great guy, he's jovial, he's fun at sets and stuff like that. To see him play this part the way he did is just, it's like, wow, because there's just no, you don't see that out of it. But yeah, he gets the cop car. He hears that they think that they're in a car park. While they're in the car park, Kyle is telling Sarah what's going on and explaining to him, and she's like, well, that doesn't exist. And he says, no, not yet. And he says, and she's like, what are you saying? And he says, I'm from the future. And she about loses it right there and just wants to leave and tries to leave, and he basically doesn't let her. And
that actually leads to a little Michael Biehn trivia, because in all 3 movies, Cameron has directed Michael Biehn. Michael Biehn gets bitten in the hand. He gets bitten by Sarah in that scene, and Newt in Aliens, and then in The Abyss, the female lead bites him in the hand.
Yeah, that's right. So
it's a little hallmark thing.
Yeah, it is. You gotta love it, and I'm sure he loves it too. He's like, "Oh, thanks. We're gonna do this again. Great. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it."
It's all in the wrist.
Been beefing up that part right there. Just take a bite. Yeah. So he breaks down what's really going on, and she doesn't take it very well. The Terminator finds him there. They ensue through, you know, destroying a few cars, driving out of the car park. Then there's the chase scene out in the streets. And then they go down to like one of the most infamous under street areas of LA. I mean, literally this tunnel or this under street area is used in just about every damn movie out there. And basically they wreck, and the Terminator wrecks just point blank right into the wall.
Yeah, I think Kyle actually hits him in the face with a shotgun, because you see the shotgun blast right in front of his face on the window.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, Toriel, you magnificent punster, you.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Hey, Toriel, how you doing? I'm glad to see you.
Great job, Chris and Steve.
Yeah.
Power still out.
Mm.
Leaving a like. Have a good stream. I'll be back.
I'll be back. Very good. I like that. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate everybody again who was here. We got 9 viewers. I really appreciate that, you guys. So that's when the cops all descend on that area, and Kyle Reese is about ready to get out and shoot at him, and at this moment, Sarah convinces him, "Don't do it. They're going to kill you." And I don't know if at this moment she believes that he's the only person who can save her, but I think there's a bit of that almost the Stockholm syndrome going on already, where she's like she doesn't want to see him die, so she kind of believes that maybe he is from the future and he doesn't know what's going to happen, so she's kind of trying to save him. And he stops, he puts the gun down, they arrest him, they arrest her, and as they're putting her in the car, she looks over and they've opened the door to where the Terminator was, and he's not there.
Yeah, he's gone.
And so it's the whole, ooh, where's he at? And
he's gone to his little motel room to fix himself up.
Miss Martin Muses is in the chat. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, so he goes back to his hotel. They take Kyle and Sarah to the police station. I think first what we do is we see the police station, and they go through, they're showing her the psychiatrist who shows up in at least the first 3 movies, the video of him talking to Kyle, and I think they said I think when the psychiatrist comes in, and talks to her,
Dr. Silberman,
yeah, and
another reoccurring character.
Yeah. She asks him, well, is he crazy? And he says, well, clinically, yeah, he's fucking nuts. And she's asking the questions. She's like, well, I saw him, punch right through a window and this and that. And they're like, oh, he was probably high on PCP. And they're giving her all the references of, things that are plausible.
Yeah, which is perfectly okay, because that's what everyone would think, right?
Well, back in the 80s in LA, sure. I mean, that was
even now, if someone says, hey, there's a killer robot chasing me, you're not going to believe them.
No.
There has to be another explanation, right?
I would like a prequel Terminator with Arnold, says United Thrive. That might be interesting. I don't know how you would do that, but
I have a little theory, or rather an idea about how they could have done that.
Mm-hmm.
Because they could have killed a human that looks like Arnold and used his looks as a base for the Terminator skin.
Have you watched the 3rd Terminator?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a cut scene that you don't see, and in that cut scene, actually, there's a major, and I can't remember what his name is, but it's Arnold playing him. But he sounds like a hick. He's like, it's like, hi, I'm Major da 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 da, and we're here showing you the new, cybernetic systems 518 or whatever. I mean, he's going through whatever it is, and they pause it and they say, actually, you know what? I'll show it. Screw it. We got time.
I did not know this.
Cut Arnold scene from Terminator 3.
Yes, David. Salvation was a prequel or sequel or whatever. It's in the future. So
it's in the future. I don't know. It's a.
Well, it is a pre. What would you call it though?
It shows you stuff that's happening. I don't know.
Because the whole story is circular, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. Here you go. I'll share my. Actually, let me redo this so I can share the sound. Do. Okay. Yeah, here you go. This is it is kind of god awful, but this is how they explain why. Can you hear that?
Yeah, but it's low.
Okay, hold on. I will do this a different way then. Do. All right.
CRS.
Can you hear that better?
Cyber Research Systems present a preview of our upcoming product line. Say hello to the soldier of tomorrow, the T1 battlefield robot, a fully autonomous ground defensive system. And in the air, the hunter-killer aerial weapons platform. This isn't science fiction, it's reality. Thanks to our top-secret innovation, Skynet, the revolutionary artificially intelligent battlefield management network.
Here
From
you go.
intercontinental missiles to the individual soldier in the field, Skynet is able to control.
Sorry, I'm late, gentlemen.
Just about started, Bob. Take a seat.
It's okay. Proceed.
This gets funny though.
Great leaders aren't born, they're made. Right here with the technology developed at CRS.
You do know the patents were obtained from a private vendor, Cyberdyne?
Cyberdyne? It's ancient history.
Using designs generated by Skynet, we need no longer risk the well-being of our men and women in uniform. Robots will take their place on the front lines.
Hi, I'm Chief Master Sergeant William Candy. I was honored to be selected by CRS in the ongoing effort to save American lives.
I don't know about that accent.
We can fix it.
So that's the whole story right there. That's how they bring it up.
Well, it's a stupid scene though.
It is. They cut it.
I wish they would have kind of redone it and kept it, because that's a cool idea, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I like that. I like the idea, and I wouldn't mind seeing maybe I don't know. I guess you could do like almost like what Disney does with these different series. You could do a little series of the beginning of Cyberdyne or the beginning of Skynet or something like that, and you could show how it was created from that guy. Maybe, I don't know. There could be different things. I don't know.
There's stuff they could if they ever make a like you said, a TV series about Cyberdyne.
Actually,
that would be cool.
They could start right after that, because the machines take over that area in Terminator 3, and then everything shifts out to the bunker area out in the desert. But what they could have done is they could start another movie if you wanted to show where Arnold came from, where the T-800 came from. You could start it off where it's after that whole place is destroyed, all the other humans are dead, but this guy, Arnold's character in that, is just hanging on by a thread, and they take him and hook him up to a life support system and start implanting like microchips and stuff into his brain, and from there advance that Terminator to a new level. I mean, I guess you could do that. So they're in the police station, and they tell her, they kind of tell off all the stuff she's saying. Well, he was able to do this. He was able to get shot. He was blah, blah, blah. And they're like, PCP, this, that. He's probably wearing a Kevlar vest. They bring out the vest and show him, and hit it. And they explain everything away. And she's like, okay, she kind of takes that, because if you think about it, the thought of somebody from the future and something from the future is still really crazy in her mind. So she takes a realistic approach to it more. And so they tell her to lay down. She goes to sleep. And the next thing you see is him the Terminator crawling into his hotel room window.
Yeah, and we get a very cool and very eerie scene of him fixing his eye and his wrist, which had been damaged.
Mm-hmm.
And he's using a scalpel to pick out his eye.
Oh, dude, that scene, man. And the way they did it, even though it's a clay head,
yeah, like we talked about before the stream, nudity and stuff was never censored in Norway. You could see nudity on national TV at 8 o'clock in the 80s and 90s. It was no big deal, but that scene was censored when he pulls out the eye. So shit like that got censored. The the heart ripping scene in Indiana Jones 2, that was censored.
Weird. Yeah, so he fixes himself up. Yeah, and let's call out the guy who does that. The guy who did most of the animatronics and stuff in this, I think, was Stan Winston, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Stan Winston. And if you're a fan of Mythbusters, Adam Savage, check out his YouTube channel. He has something where he actually bought the molds to make a full-size T-800, and he had a little web series going on there for a minute. It's pretty cool to watch him build that. But I think the Mythbusters guys had something to do with the second one a little bit. I know Grant Imahara, who unfortunately just passed away recently, I think had something to definitely do with that. But it shows him fixing himself up, and then the manager knocks on the door and says something to the fact of, it smells like something died in there.
Yeah. Then you see the conversation options and in Arnold's it's like, fuck you, asshole, or something.
Yeah, which is kind of funny because that's like the first words he speaks. No, that's okay, so that's 3 words. That's like probably like the 30th set of 30th words he speaks, because he speaks it to the shop owner, and there's maybe 15 to 20 words he says there. He says,
I think he has 14 lines in the whole movie.
Yeah, he says, are you Sarah Connor? And then he says, fuck you, asshole, and I'll be back. I think that's it. I think you could memorize his lines in one setting. Yeah,
and he talks a bit. Well, we'll get to that later.
Yeah, but so that's the next scene. After he says, fuck you, asshole, he walks out of the window again, which is funny that he's leaving by the window, but okay. By this time he has a bike. He's got his sunglasses now, and this is the picture right up here. This picture, that's what he looks like now.
I wonder where he got the leather jacket from.
I don't know. They don't show that, do they?
That's a mystery, because I'm thinking he killed someone else.
I wonder if that's a deleted scene. I haven't really looked up deleted scenes for this movie. I have to check it out. But he right before he leaves, he does this with his hair. It's kind of funny that the Terminator understands the appearance is paramount to what he's doing.
Yeah,
so not only is he ruthless and set on one objective, the other objective that's in his mind is vanity.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy to think about it. Style, vanity,
murder.
Yeah, that's it.
Just kill people, but look good doing it.
I look good when I kill you. So yeah, laugh out loud. The Terminator invented the dialogue tree, and true.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, and I like what Mike Shrew says here. This is why I do not mind any of the Terminator movies, and I'm going to explain this very simply, because this is what Mike Shrew says. Technically, every single Terminator film, TV show has its own timeline, even from 1 and 2. But the show opened up with the multiverse anyways, so it all works. Because he's right. Everything that happens changes what can happen.
Well, no, because in Terminator 1, we're explained that time travel is a one-way ticket.
Yeah.
You can only go back because the future is always changing, right? And they don't have the technology to send someone forward. You can only send back. But in Genesis, they go forward, which contradicts everything set up in the previous movies.
But it still is its own timeline.
Yeah, but still,
I understand that's a no-go in a lot of ways. In fact, they do it more than once, and it makes no sense how the Terminator and Sarah Connor in that movie figure out how to build a time machine. How do you do that? And yet these, yeah,
and we're also told that the Terminator can't be reasoned with or bargained with, and blah blah blah. In Terminator 5, the Terminator bargains.
Yeah.
And reasons.
Yeah. So he leaves, he goes to the police station. I love this scene. He walks in and he says, "Is Sarah Connor here?" Oh, that's his other line. "Is Sarah Connor here?" "Yeah, but you're going to have to wait." And as the cop is talking to him, this is again such a great way that Arnold acted in this movie. And I got to applaud the guy for not being trained well, or not being trained. I'm not going to say not being trained well, because by this time he had actually worked with good actors and stuff, and he knew what he was doing. But the way he plays the part, he's supposed to be this cybernetic killing machine. While the guy's talking to him, he is looking at the framing for the window that blocks him from getting in back. And so while you don't get to see it, because of course I'm guaranteeing you it was monetary, that they didn't want to use that the grid scene again to show him analyzing that. But you see it, you understand what he's doing. He's looking and he's analyzing, what do I have to do? What do I need? How much force?
Is scanning for weaknesses.
Yeah. And so that's when he says his infamous line, "I'll be back." And he goes.
Oh, and Dr. Silberman has a near Terminator experience because he leaves as Arnold enters.
Yeah, that's true. And so again, it isn't really until the second one where Silverman understands what's really going on. But Silverman leaves and Terminator comes in. Then Terminator leaves and gets a car and rams through and destroys everybody. But Kyle finds Sarah, and at this point, I think Sarah understands that Kyle's not telling a lie, that this is really what's going on. And they get away. And if I remember right, they get away, and that's when they escape to the embankment. Oh, no. But yeah, they escape to the embankment where, she's trying to tell him, have him tell her about, something to keep her happy or something. And that's when he tells her about her son.
Yeah. And basically exposition time.
Yeah. All the while she's fixing his arm because he got scraped up pretty badly. And, that's when he first says, "Hey, that's a good field dressing." And she says, "It's my first one." And this is when we go to the second movie, we understand more. But this is where we understand how this feeble woman, which I'm not saying that in any sort of a knockdown. That's what she is. But this is where we see her begin to become what Kyle Reese has heard.
Yeah, it's
this is the moment where it changes.
Yeah, this is from a time where we had something called character development, character growth. This is what they tend to skip this time. these days. Just to have strong female characters who can do everything.
Yeah.
You know, it's more interesting if they can't do everything, but they learn and grow. And you know, in this movie, she's for almost the whole movie, she's scared shitless, but she still pushes through and does what she needs to do. And that alone is a strong female character, because she does it anyway, despite the fears and the risk to her life and all of that.
Yeah, what is the line that he says? Hold on, because it's different from the first movie to the second movie. Sorry, I'm having to look it up. Thank you, Sarah, for your courage through the dark years. I can't help you with what you must soon face, except to say that the future is not set. And so that was, and then it says, you must be stronger than you imagine you can be. You must survive, or I will never exist. And that got expanded into, you know, the future is not set, to there is no future but what we make for ourselves. No fate but what we make. So it got twisted a little bit, but this is the moment where I don't know. She falls in love with Kyle.
There's a deleted scene. Because when she wakes up, Kyle is outside having a full mental breakdown, and it's a great scene. Michael Biehn is fantastic in it. He's having a complete meltdown outside. I wish they had kept that in the movie.
I'm not sure if I've seen that. Oh yeah, no, this is before. This was before. Okay, you're gonna hear this for a second. This was before that. That's the day before, or the morning before. Maybe.
It's after they have slept in that tunnel thing.
Is it? Okay. So, oh yeah, it happens right after she calls her what she thinks is her mom. So
yeah, that could be.
We'll show this.
He's having a meltdown.
Yeah, here we'll do this.
I know, Mom. This is as soon as I could. I know, Mom. I can't talk long now. No, I am okay. I'm just not supposed to be talking to anybody. Okay, I want you to listen. I want you to grab a few things, and I want you to go to the cabin for a few days. No, don't tell anybody where you're going. I don't want you to ask questions. I just want you to do it. Okay, I can't talk right now. I'll talk to you later if I can, okay? Okay, I gotta go. Bye.
So this is an alternate scene compared to what they showed, which is her talking and then the Terminator coming on.
No, because the Terminator is at the cabin. He has followed the mom to the cabin.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I see. So they show this first. So this is actually interesting because I haven't seen this.
This scene should have been in.
Yeah, this should have been, because she's deciding to stop it now.
Yeah,
she's after it now. She's on the attack. That's really interesting.
Come on, we gotta get a car.
No, put away the gun. I can get us around. I can. Look what I found.
What's that?
Cyberdyne systems, isn't that it?
What about it?
Listen to this. They developed this revolutionary new thing. This
molecular memory.
Right. So they become hotshot computer guys, so they get to develop this thing for the government, right?
Right, yeah, that's the way it was told to me.
So we can 86 the bastard. We can blow it up, it'll never happen.
No, that's tactically dangerous. We lay low.
No, Reese. Think it through. We can prevent the war. There's nobody else. If we go to somebody official, we end up in jail again, and he's got us again. We've got to do it ourselves.
That's not my mission.
Listen, understand. I am not a military objective. I'm a person, and you don't own me.
Let's go.
Fuck you! Let me go.
Sarah! Sarah!
Bloody woman.
Sarah! No! No! What? No! Sarah! That's real pretty. Go ahead, shoot. That's smart. Jesus Christ, Reese, don't you see that I am scared? I don't want to spend my whole life waiting for that thing to catch up to me. Always looking over my shoulder.
Okay, I'll let you guys. I'll put this in the link down below. We'll get on with it. But that's interesting. I have never seen that. So, yeah, they make love, and this is where we know John's made. And
after they make love, Sarah stops calling him Reese and starts calling him Kyle.
Mm-hmm. And the next scene, they're in a motel, and he's making the bombs, and he shows her again another scene showing how she's learning these ways of making improvised weapons.
Yeah, I tried making those weapons when I was a kid with used toilet paper rolls and stuff. They don't work. It's pure fiction.
And she calls her mom, and that's when the Terminator's at the lake. And I think if I remember right, Reese knows something's up. Or
the dog.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The dog.
Yeah, the dog outside, which is actually James Cameron's dog.
Mm-hmm. And so that's, again, the dog is there, and that's a tip off. And then he finds out where she's at because she tells him where they're staying.
Yeah, she's telling the mom, not knowing it's Terminator.
And if I remember right, this hotel, if I remember right, is the same hotel they used in From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, the motel.
Yeah, I think it's the same one, but I can't remember for sure. And it's not the same name, so it doesn't like coincide the two universes. But anyways, Terminator comes there. They end up running in a really, really crappy little S10 that cannot go very fast. And the Reese and the Terminator shooting at each other. Terminator's on the bike, and then he knocks the Terminator off the bike. But the Terminator, no, that's right. They get in a wreck with
Sarah, after Reese has been shot, actually.
Oh, that's right.
Managed to bump the Terminator against the railing thing.
Mm-hmm. She slams.
Then she crashes, and then the Terminator gets run over by a truck, which is almost foreshadowed earlier in the movie, because when the Terminator arrives with a car, when he kills the first Sarah Connor, he drives over a little toy truck. And it's the exact same truck model as the one who runs over him.
Exactly. Mary Ann, good to see you in the chat. Thank you very much for coming and watching. I appreciate it. So he gets in the truck and he starts driving, pushes out the glass, all that stuff. And if I remember right, Reese waits till he passes by and shoves one of the pipe bombs in the back of this. I believe it's gasoline, but so it blows up, and they think they may have won. And Reese is pretty much at this point mortally wounded. But he's still going, and then so the truck blows up. Sarah thinks it's over. Reese is sitting here, like I said, what we do know to be mortally wounded. And
we don't know that. We know he's wounded.
Yeah, true.
But that's not what kills him.
No, that's not. No. But she sees that he comes out, and this is a Stan Winston puppet, what we see now, the exoskeleton, which is masterfully done and holds up to this day. And people might say, "Oh, it's choppy." It's choppy, and It's like, no, it's that he looks like a robot. It looks like a cyborg the way it moves. It's perfect. And it looks so beautiful the way they did it with the flames and everything. And I mean, we've already seen this in the beginning, but this one is really much, much better. And so she talks to Kyle and then forces him to get up by saying, you know, on your feet, soldier. And he gets up, they run, they go into this manufacturing plant. Obviously some sort of a metal fabrication factory. And he tells her, or he, you know, they're running, and he stops her and says, wait a minute. And she thinks, no, we can't wait. But he sits and starts turning on all of the machinery in the whole place and tells her it'll disrupt his tracking system.
Which is clever.
Yeah. And this tells us one more thing about the Terminator that we didn't know before. And then basically, he tells her to go.
Yeah, because it catches up to him.
Yeah, and grabs,
basically using himself as a shield, whacking the Terminator with a pole.
Yeah,
it doesn't go well.
No, but this is where, as he's sitting there lying on the ground after he's been knocked down, he uses his last pipe bomb and puts it right into the middle of the Terminator. Now, the problem with this is if you go through the rest of the films, you learn in 3 and in Genesis or one of the others that he has a nuclear core that explodes, which that doesn't happen here. So it doesn't. That's obviously either an upgrade that happens at another time or something we don't know about. I don't know, but in this film, it blows him up into what we think is 1,000 pieces, and she comes up to him and he's all mangled and dead now.
I think he got a splinter from the Terminator in his head.
Something like that. I can't remember. I just remember there's definitely a large wound on his head and he's bleeding. And, you know, she cries for a second because she cries, and would be longer than a second because she thinks it's over again. And he's dead, and she mourns his death. And then all of a sudden,
she has a piece of the Terminator in her leg too.
Mm-hmm. And the Terminator, we see the eye come back on, and it start crawling to her. And so she's wounded to a point she can't just get up and run. And so she crawls, and it's faster. It's catching up to her. They go through the press.
hydraulic press thing.
And they do that, and she gets on the other end, and just as it's about ready to grab her, slams down the gate, and it's trying to grab her, and she's reaching for I think actually does it grab her because she can't move.
He's clawing at her, but he doesn't.
Yeah. But she's reaching for the button, and she hits the button and says, "You're terminated, fucker."
Yep.
That's the moment she becomes Sarah Connor. The Sarah Connor we know. That is the moment in this movie. Her fear is gone. She doesn't care, and whatever it takes. And she kills it. And of course, we know the arms there. And the next scene, I think, I'm trying to remember if it was in the original movie. Yeah, it is. Where she's talking to the recorder. She's got the dog. She's in the Jeep, and she's heading down to what we assume is Mexico or the southern states, something like that. And she's talking to John, and she says, you know, it's kind of maddening when you think about it, you know, how to tell you. And then she says, I guess if I don't tell you, you won't send him back. So she's basically admitting to John right up front that your dad is somebody yet to be born. You're going to be born before your dad, and you have to send your dad back in order for you to be born. So,
and that's where that picture is being taken too, that Kyle had.
Mm-hmm.
The little kid takes that picture.
The little Latino boy comes up and takes a picture and says, you know, or yeah, takes a picture and it comes out and he says $5 and she's like, or no, $10, and she's like, no, $5. She like barters with him and he takes it, and yeah, that's it. And it is neatly wrapped up. There didn't need to be a sequel, especially this scene that we're seeing here. If we had been under the impression that even after this death of Reese and all that she would have gone for Cyberdyne, there would have never needed to be another sequel. That scene that you showed me right there would have totally taken out the need for a sequel. Not that I don't want Terminator 2, because Terminator 2, I think, in many ways, is a superior film to the Terminator.
Yeah, it's a better film. It's better made, better acted as well. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. But I like one more than two.
I do too, in many ways. Again, character developments, first off. Her development in this movie is so great. And yeah, she's not a badass character until that very, very end. That when she hits that button, the way she sounds, you know, she's not, she's done. It's over. And, you know, and yeah, so, I mean, anything else you want to talk about with this?
The gas station is featured in all the four first Terminator movies.
The gas. Oh yeah.
It gets blown up in Terminator Salvation.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which is a stupid movie because Terminator Salvation, in that movie, only one human gets terminated.
Mm-hmm.
By a Terminator is just a guy trying to flee the concentration camp.
Yep. And then
they just throw people in that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't mind it, but it doesn't really. There's no purpose served in it because they don't really take out the Skynet. They're trying to, but you know how many times do you want to see the same thing over and over again?
And then Skynet behaves like a Bond villain and explains its master plan.
Yeah, it's I don't know.
Not what a computer would do.
No, because there's no point in it. It serves no purpose. Because then it makes it sound like even back when it started that it was designed to take out John Connor, right from
David in the chat is asking, "Are you guys willing to do RoboCop?" We've already did that.
We did. If you go look through my videos, it is just type in movie talk, and in the search bar or in the little search where the magnifying glass is, not the main YouTube search. I mean, I guess you could put in the Real Review 3000 movie talk and you probably get it. But here, I'll do you one better real quick. I will.
We've done both Blade Runner movies. In we did The Shining. Miss Sarcastic Nerd was on for that one.
Mm-hmm.
She was an expert at that movie. Awesome. Yes. We did Falling Down.
Mm-hmm.
We did Predator. We did Jaws.
Yes, hold on. I will go through everything we've done here in just a second. So our first one is under Gospel According to Chris. I'm going to cut it and repackage it here in a little bit as a movie talk and leave them both up. But the next one we did was RoboCop. We've done Falling Down, which, guys, please watch Falling Down, but understand it is the longest one, and we kind of went overboard with that. So we tightened up the whole package on how we do these now. So that's like an anomaly. But Falling Down, Jaws, The Shining, and then live we've done Predator, Willow, and Conan, and then now this.
Yeah.
So I will give you the link. That is the link to the RoboCop one. But we are more than willing to take requests. We have a slew of ones we plan on doing here really soon. We will do some of these live streams like this, but a lot of it might end up being just recorded because it's nothing really either Stig or I can do it our time so that we are able to do them.
Yeah, we tend to whenever he has time, I don't have time, and vice versa.
That's what happens when you're all, halfway across the world.
Yeah, it's like a cursed stream.
I don't know. It kind of is.
But we're doing our best anyway. We make do.
Yes, but we got lots of them out there. You can message me on Twitter. You can message Stig on Twitter. His information is down below in the description box. You can message me on Twitter with requests. You can put it in the comments. You can email me, chrisknight at therealreview3000.com. Any of that, Facebook, Instagram, I got everything. So you guys are more than willing to send me a message however you see fit if you have a request, and we will definitely look into that. Like I said, we have plans to do Terminator 2, Total Recall. What else? What were we talking about?
The first two Alien movies.
Alien,
I think.
Which one?
Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, Lethal Weapon.
Running Man.
Running Man. Yeah, we got tons of them. We're gonna plan on getting done here really soon. So, yeah, stay tuned on that. And guys, thank you so very much, everybody who showed up. Do we have anything else? Any other trivia? Anything like that?
Don't think so. Well, we need to give it a score, don't we?
Oh yeah, thanks. See, I knew I'd keep you around for something. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so I'll let you go first, guys. This is how we do it. Stig's going to give a 1 through 5. I'm going to give a 1 through 5, and with that, we get our 1 through 10 rating. So, Stig, first off, 1 through 5.
I think a 4.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I have a lot of nostalgia for it. There's nothing wrong with this movie. It's awesome. But I also don't think it's a masterpiece. You know, it's great, but not a masterpiece.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it a 4.
Okay. I will give it a 4.5, much for the same reason. I think that James Cameron was on the right track, and I think I'll use what George Lucas has said about the original trilogy. There were just some things missing that Cameron couldn't pull off. And I think perhaps he kind of reined in some stuff, and that doesn't hurt the movie. It just, like you said, it doesn't make it.
Yeah.
I think the Terminator 2,
it doesn't hurt it, but it doesn't elevate it either.
Exactly. I think Terminator 2 is, I don't know, Terminator 2 gets the praise it gets because Terminator 1 is the movie it is.
Yeah, and
elevate it to another place.
Second one has a massive plot hole.
I think I know what you're talking about, but we'll get to that when we talk about Terminator 2. But with my rating and with Stig's rating, that is a 9.5, guys, or an 8.5. I'm sorry, I almost gave it way too much.
I didn't know we could do points.
Oh,
so I'm giving it a 4.5 as well.
Okay, so that gives us a total rating of 9, guys. Yeah. 9 out of 10. I think the only movie we've had so far that we considered a 10 out of 10 was Conan, wasn't it? Or,
yep.
Yeah, because yeah, no. So this gets a 9 out of 10, which again, I'd say anything over a 7 is a solid movie.
Oh yeah, and keep in mind we're biased as hell.
We are. I mean, but that's okay. And it's our show. It doesn't matter really. So,
yeah, and give us money.
Yes. Super chats right now. We're going to stay on for 5 more minutes. We need $50 of super chats right now.
Yeah.
You know, anyways, guys, thank you very much for staying with us this time. Don't forget, you can keep tweeting it out. Tell people to watch the replay. They're up. I don't take them down. And with that said, Stig, go ahead and tell everybody about yourself.
Just a panelist. I have a tiny YouTube channel, which I just did because of peer pressure.
The ducks.
Oh, there's ducks in it. And a couple of videos where I try to be funny. And some retro stuff that I just stole from YouTube and there. And I got away with it too. I have Transformers episodes. I have He-Man. Nobody minded me doing that.
Hold on, I gotta see what this is since I'm not looking up on this yet, but hold on here.
Yeah. Well, other than that, it's just I just show up on panels and talk to people about, I guess, nerdy stuff. Things like that.
Oh yeah, but that's okay. That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Sporking News Podcast, $1.49. Super
Oh,
sticker.
you cheap bastards.
Thank you very much, Sporking. I really do appreciate it. He sends a super sticker of a hot dog.
Will Gantry really dug deep, though. He's sending us 100,000 pounds.
That's great. If it was, you see, but it's okay.
It's real. It counts.
Okay, that's good. Thank you guys. Will, thank you for showing up. Sporking, David, Trap, it's Trap Productions, Mike, Shrew, John, Batman Bald, or Bald Man Bad, United Thrive, Miss Martin Muse, Lady Tariel, Memes of Destruction, Sith Lord, who else? Jesus, let's Captain Trek. And then back at the beginning, I think we had the Sentinel. Guys, thank you. Everybody who came today, we really appreciate it. I don't know about. No, go ahead.
All the best people came.
Yes, I don't know about Stig, but I really like doing these with you, Stig. I really do. Fun time.
I do as well, which is why I'm showing up.
I know. I understand. And again, our schedules, when they work out, we'll get more of these out. Well, I think we're planning a major recording session here soon to get these out for you guys. So with that said, Stig, do me a favor, tell everybody goodbye in your best Obi-Wan Kenobi voice.
Goodbye there.
Everybody have a good night.
Hey guys, thanks for checking us out. Be sure to subscribe to both channels and make sure to check out our friends in the Fandom Minutes. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and BitChute, and you can also send us an email at Sean@SeanStackhouseReacts.com and chrisknight at TheRealReview3000.com. And be sure to swing by our Teespring store to pick up some awesome merchandise.